Maybe Annie here. What would you say if I told you that we are in the season of becoming? Maybe not the one most normally associated with the season of Samhain. It's not too early to consider the season of becoming. Perhaps all of the seasons have their ways of becoming. But it's a little bit unusual to consider it now, here, in this place that will remain dark for some time to come. To live with the concept that everything is beginning. Yes, even at this early stage, when it seems the world is hanging on to a lot of endings. This is a poem I wrote in my poetic daily reflections for the Wheel of the Year. The seed resting beneath the ground is becoming. The doe is carrying within her the next generation. Everything is moving toward its fullness. Creation is a constant state of being. The possibility of each thing rises from within. Everything has the potential to be something greater. I am unafraid to reach, grasp, and grow. Within me, the constant possibility of change. I am filled to bursting. I kind of like the poem I wrote. But my true prompt for today's reflection, which is written beneath that, is, Annie, what would it take to fill you? I must have been inspired by that poem that ended with I'm filled to bursting to consider, well, am I? I swear I come back to this one each year and I think, what the heck did I mean by that prompt, Annie? What would it take to fill you? Year after year. I'd like to talk with the Annie that wrote to that prompt, as I surely have no idea what the conversation was in her head at the time. But here's where I've come with it. I'm generally pleasantly empty at this time of the year. I've dealt with the year past. I don't take on new projects in the quiet time of the year, and this emptiness feels good. It's a lack of accomplishment for sure, but also a lack of anxiety, stress, and worry. It's a place I would happily linger, and probably linger far too long. So I consider creation as a constant state of being, as I wrote in that poem. That I'm actually not dormant, or perhaps more accurately, I should not let myself lie dormant. Some bit of who I choose to become needs to be nourished. But first, it must be discovered. In the spirit of my poem, what would I wish to grow from? What is already part of me that will inspire me, invigorate me, and yes, fill me? What needs to expand, to begin, to be? Even in the long nights of the year, something is beginning. What's the beginning of my beginning? Now, this reflection this year wasn't doing it for me. I had kind of a bleh kind of reaction to it. Until a certain buck decided to come into our neighborhood in search of a few lady friends. And he found one. She was a beauty. And he was then faced with the challenge of being a buck. She might have been beautiful and oh so tempting, but she was not interested. All week she led him a merry chase. It became quite dramatic up and down the streets of my little neighborhood. We all then recognized what was going on, that primal dance, and we knew to stay out of their way. That poor fella was near to exhausted. Then they both disappeared. Well, we all assumed that they did what nature called them to do once she decided it was time. And then there will be life. Because in the seasons of endings, everything is beginning again. I'm really liking that the solstice and the dark moon are so close this year. What a wonderful opportunity to explore the stars within my darkness, to see which of them will expand to fill me. Perhaps to get in touch with my own primal urges and desires, like Mr. White-tailed Deer is doing. My urge to create and become should be as primal and instinctual as it was for that couple. And if it is not, then I need to call myself out and get a bit more primeval. What will it take to fill me? I don't know yet, but I know that pleasantly empty is not an option. Something's gotta start. What's the something that's gotta start? Within you. I wish you mirth and reverence in the season of Samhain. Merry part.